Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be talking about anti-ICE activists losing in their efforts to try to prevent the building and opening of an ICE facility, the biggest ICE facility in California, in fact, in a city called California City or Cal City, which is just south of Bakersfield, if I remember correctly, in Kern County, which is in Antelope Valley in California, which is a famous place, at least to people in California. These activists were trying to prevent this from being built by appealing to the city council and to the mayor, but they were misled about the law. There's nothing the mayor could do to stop this private company that's building the facility for the feds. And because it's just like another business, as long as they're following all the business rules and laws in California, they're able to establish this facility. So as always, these progressive open borders activists don't do any of their research, and they end up looking like the idiots that they are.
California City's mayor says an ICE detention center is similar to any business in town with regards to opening. Many people are saying it's bad business to let that happen. I'm Steve Eden, your neighborhood reporter. After waiting for 3 hours, more than 50 people spoke against the facility opening.
People packed the council chambers in California City to speak against an immigration processing center on Tuesday. Some came from surrounding towns in Kern County, including Sam Hardman from Tehachapi.
One of the big popular sayings of our time is, well, this is not personal, it's business. Well, this is personal. It is very personal to the people who die.
Oh, you mean all the people who died to build America, like my ancestors who died in the Revolutionary War back in the 1770s and 1780s? Is that what you mean? Are those the people who died you're talking about? Or are you talking about the people who died in the War of 1812, the Spanish-American War, Shiloh during the Civil War? Which people dying are you talking about? Are you talking about Americans like myself and my ancestors who built this country? For me, by the way, it is very personal. Okay. It is very personal. This guy and all the people who are talking at this city council meeting, they want my land to be invaded by a bunch of taco eaters. That's what they want. Okay. They want our country to turn into Mexico. We are not okay with that. He somehow wants that. Okay. All these people that came to talk in this place don't realize how much their lives will be benefited when we get rid of these illegals. The lack of traffic, the surge in jobs that will happen for people like him. I don't think he doesn't look like he works, probably on Social Security. But even with that, the benefits that will increase when you don't have millions of illegals siphoning and leeching off of our money. The amount of improvement in our lives will be unimaginable. Just to give you an example, last month, when those raids were happening, the traffic, when the biggest raids were going down and the media was covering it and the protests were going down in downtown, the traffic was so empty on the roads. Even at night, where in LA there's still traffic, there was almost no traffic, no cars on the road because of all the illegals staying home because they're scared of ICE. Okay. And all the taco stands were wrapped up and gone as well. The streets look like an actual first world country for once. Okay. And then now it's back to looking like a third world country because they're not scared anymore. They're back on the streets. Okay. And the traffic is hell again. The amount of improvement in our lives that this guy himself will personally experience if we ship these people out is immense. He doesn't even understand. I'm guessing he's not talking about my ancestors and the ancestors of the English who died to build this country. I'm thinking he's talking about some other kind of people who are dying.
It is very personal to the people who die. It's very personal to the people who get arrested. It is very personal to the families that get ripped apart.
Rosa Lopez.
Yeah, he's talking about taco eaters like this and their families. He's not talking about the people who built America. He's not even talking about his own ancestors. He looks like he's a white guy. I don't know. Could be Native American or something, or mixed. But at this point, who knows? But no, he's talking about people like this. Okay, not people like this. People like this who built this country. My ancestors have been here for 387 years. 1638. That's when my Swedish ancestors came here and built this country, starting from Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all these places. The English, the Swedes, and other Northern and Western Europeans built this country from the ground up. We were settlers. My ancestors were. We weren't immigrants. Okay. But he doesn't give a damn about us. He cares about foreigners who he wants to let invade the country that my ancestors and the English built. No thanks. No thanks. Okay. All these people have their own countries. I have nothing personal against these people. It does get personal for me when they invade my land that my ancestors built. This country here, built on the English Constitution of 1689. This is an Anglo-Saxon country. When you come here and you invade and you want to force us to speak Spanish and do all these other things that we don't want to do, then it becomes personal and we kind of get pissed off. And you pissed off white people now. That's why you're all getting rounded up and shipped out. Okay, you made a big mistake. This is what happens in every country. The native population gets pissed eventually when you push us around too much. And you pushed us around way too much.
It is very personal to the families that get ripped apart.
Rosa Lopez came from Bakersfield to speak on behalf of ACLU Southern California. She says Cal City should prevent private company CoreCivic from opening the ICE detention center and that the city should seek support from organizations in the county.
This is concerning, as several speakers spoke, that it doesn't just impact residents in California City, but all our communities throughout the state.
Cal City Mayor Marquette Hawkins spoke to me before the meeting. He says the city is expected to finalize water and sewage rates with CoreCivic next month and provide what's necessary to open. Hawkins says denying CoreCivic to open would lead to lawsuits against Cal City that it cannot afford.
Some of the other, misinformation that was out there is that the city can actually put a stop to the facility opening. And that is grossly incorrect. And
yeah, that's because those progressive activists who put out those lies to get all these dumb, ignorant people, let's say ignorant, let's not be too insulting. Most of these people are just nice people who think they're helping somebody. Like a lot of white people just want to feel like they're helping out. Okay. And they want to, they want to fight against their white guilt as well, which is always there. So they're really nice people, but they're very, very misguided. And they, watch a couple of TikTok videos, they see something on Facebook and they get outraged and they come to these meetings. So I don't want to go too hard against them. I understand where they're coming from. Okay. But you guys are really destroying your own lives by helping these illegals. Okay. Trying to help these people. Instead of what you should be doing is supporting the building of this ICE facility so we can process these disgusting people and get them the hell out of our country after they invaded our land. Okay. Invaded. That's what they did. That's what they're doing when you cross the border illegally. That's what you're doing. You're breaking into my house. People can't understand that the country is just like our house. Okay. And the more people that come here, the more resources we spend on them instead of our own native population. Only people who have no allegiance to their native population, to their actual blood family, think that it's okay for this invasion to happen. And they use compassion as a weapon, especially against white people who already have a lot of white guilt. And they're just willing to sacrifice everything for any, darker person that they feel guilty, that they feel like their ancestors did something wrong against. So white guilt is a great weapon that they use against liberals and just unsuspecting white people who don't want to feel like they're bad people. They want to feel like they're good people. So they come to these stupid meetings, but based on wrong information. The activists are wrong. And they just wasted the time of all these people who came to speak at this meeting today. So this is what happens when you go down the SJW open borders route. You end up following dumb people who don't know anything, but just wants to let the entire world break into my country that my ancestors built. No thanks. We're not going to go along with that.
And unfortunately, that has spread as information. But the reality is we do not have the jurisdictional, authority to stop any business from opening as long as they have all their ducks in a row, all their I's dotted, all their T's crossed, and they've met all the requirements that are required by them to open.
The ICE detention center in Cal City would be the largest in the state. Many in the community are fearful of the future conditions at the detention center and the treatment of immigrants. CoreCivic, which continues to negotiate a contract with ICE, responded in a statement, "Our responsibility is to care for each person respectfully and humanely while they receive the legal due process that they are entitled to."
Cal City's next council meeting is on August 12th. For 23 ABC, I'm Steve Eaton, your neighborhood.
So they can go and protest at that council meeting as well. It's not going to make any difference because the company here, Corsair, they have all the right in the world to build a detention facility here. And I believe they have a contract with the feds. They must, because they're providing that facility for federal services. That's usually how it works. They have federal contracts from ICE or Homeland Security to build these facilities. They get money to build them and maintain them, and they work hand in hand with these private companies, the feds do, to process these people and get them the hell out of the country, which is exactly what everybody who's actually cares about our own people wants. Okay, so there's more good news, and the good news just keeps on coming. We have setbacks here and there, but on immigration, we've had nothing but good news, in my opinion, for the last 6-7 months, whenever, since Trump got elected. And I'm very surprised that he's actually following through, but I'm very, very happy. And we should be very thankful to Kristi Noem and especially Stephen Miller that any of this is happening, because without those two people, none of this would be happening. So very thankful to Stephen Miller. That's all I can say. And that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in my next one. Have a great day and welcome to all my new subscribers.